So the United States government, every once in a while, tries to help its citizens not get screwed, which is nice. That's nice for government to do. And so historically, people would get screwed by schemes where people would say they were going to do one thing and then do a different thing, and then people would lose money. So they try and cover that particular type of harm done to the citizens with truth in advertising laws, fraud laws, and then they created a special branch of the government that particularly interests itself with securities. Now you may ask yourself, what is a security? Well, they had a ruling. So there's two ways that enforcement happens. One is rulings that the judicial branch handles. In the judicial branch, there's three branches of government. There's the legislative that makes laws. There's the judicial that decides whether a law was broken or not. And there's an executive that's like, oh, you broke a law, we're gonna lock you up. And so these three branches have, or are supposed to have, checks and balances. A lot of times people just try and violate those checks and balances. Like I hear Joe Biden decided that he wants to just forgive a bunch of people's debt. What does forgive mean? It means that you're just going to print like extra money and devalue everyone else's currencies to like give these people free money, or are the companies going to get screwed over, or like what makes you think you're the guy that's allowed to do that? You're the executive. You're not the legislative. It doesn't make sense to me. It seems like a very clear violation of checks and balances. Just like, you know, how we're always at war, but we never go to vote to go to war. What's up with that crap? I thought we were supposed to vote to go to war. Why are we always at war without any declaration? What? Oh, it's a peacekeeping mission. Okay. Like, how did Afghanistan work out? We lost 100,000 M16s to the Taliban, who now runs it. What? Like, it's so stupid. It's like the history of, think about the thing the CIA did well. You're like, Iran, nope. Afghanistan, nope. Cuba, I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem like it really worked out. Like the Bay of Pigs really failed really badly. Yeah, just, you know, it seems like they're not doing a great job. I don't, you know, monitoring all, against the Fourth Amendment, capturing all the communications of all the American citizens. How is that not a violation of the Fourth Amendment, right? Like, it doesn't, what? So, all right, back to securities laws. So basically, they created a branch of the government called the Securities and Exchange Commission that tries to help people not get scammed. And I think they forget that that's what they're supposed to be doing. Like, that's the reason they exist, is to stop people from getting scammed. But then they like get caught up in the intricacies of the laws, and then they don't think about whether they're really getting the job done. They get caught up in the minutia, I think. And then, you know, how many of these rug pull guys have been indicted? Not a single one that I'm aware of. Well, that's crappy. And how many people have lost money to rug pulls? Oh, God. Squid Game. It's worth 4.3 trillion. It went to zero. And it just, I do so much to try and protect people from getting scammed, and it saddens me to see them attacking people that aren't scamming. You know, you're like, we have no shortage of real scams in crypto. Please go get them. Why are you gonna? I mean, I give an example. So there's another branch of government called the Treasury, and they can put people on a special designated list that you're not allowed to transact with them. People. And so they decided, hey, you know what? I know that the law says, now this I'm not 100% read up on. So I haven't read the specific law that empowers them. So this is a little bit of a guess going on here. But since Coinbase has sued them along these lines, it's probably the case. And I think also Coin Center sued them as well, but check it. They just added a smart contract and a website to the humans list that you're not allowed to do business with. You're like, hey
Like
guys.
the OFAC sanctions or whatever?
Yeah, the Office of Foreign something. You're like, hey guys, this is a list of humans. You can't just add ideas to it, or books, or code, or a Keller. This is a list for humans. And you're like, why are you, like, if the idea of sanctions is to prevent having to go to war, which is why sanctions have such strong bite, is because you don't want people to go to war if they don't have to. If the idea of this, it's like they added Tornado Cash to a list because North Korea was apparently hiding money that they stole. Okay, why is hiding money that they stole bad? Because you want them to have, you want them to be able to profit less from doing bad things, like whether it's malware or crypto locker or whatever crap they're doing. You know, the idea is that if you make them harder to like clean the money, then maybe they'll do less crime or whatever. Cool, okay, it's like meta law enforcement, like where it's like security theater basically. You can't bring liquids on a plane, but then every time they test the systems, every bad thing goes right through. They're like, yeah, every time we test these systems and see whether they really work, all the bad stuff gets right through. But we still do the theater and pretend it works by screwing over everyone else that's not actually trying to do anything bad. It's terribly inefficient. And so when you screw over everyone that has performed the good and honest behavior of trying to have privacy, which is protected in the Constitution and in other places, privacy is good. It's why we have blinds, it's why we have door locks, it's why we have clothing, and it's why you don't hand out your email password and your search history to people. You just don't, because privacy is good and wholesome and healthy, and it's why we've got blinds in our windows. And so the good, honest people that wanted to maintain their privacy in the digital world the same way they would have had it on the analog world. You know, you go to pay with a credit card at a store, they can't tell how much money is in your bank account. You write a check, they can't tell how much money is in your bank account. You hand them cash, they can't tell how much money is in your bank account. You pay crypto, they know exactly how much money is in your bank account. We need mixing in order to have capitalism. We need mixing in order to have privacy. We need mixing in order to run companies in the digital future, period. You can't have all your suppliers knowing what you pay your other suppliers. You can't have all your competitors knowing who all your customers are. You can't have all your employees knowing what all your other employees are being paid. It's like you need mixing. And so what did OFAC do? They just preemptively screwed everyone, maximally. They're like, hey, anybody that's used Tornado, get wrecked, sorry, you're totally annihilated. Well, how did that help the world? They did like hundreds of millions of dollars of damage instantly. And then like, how did that stop North Korea? It didn't, right? Like, it's so stupid to me. It's like, you guys just preemptively harmed everyone instead of helping them. And the whole idea of you guys being empowered with these powers is to help people. And preemptively harming everyone doesn't make any sense. You can't, hey, you know what? I bet the North Koreans use pencils too. Let's make them illegal. I bet they use electricity. Let's make it illegal. I bet they use computers. Let's make computers illegal. I bet they use email. Let's make email illegal. Like, you cannot make technology illegal because bad people use it. It doesn't make any sense. It's so stupid. And so they made a huge error there, and they did great harm. They did great harm to Americans, which is disgusting. That's the opposite of why they were empowered. And so back to security. So this kind of covered OFAC and Treasury. Now, mind you, disclaimers, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a legal professional, whatever, right? All those disclaimers. I'm just a guy that used to wear funny hats and sits Indian style on live streams. So, securities. If your employer doesn't pay you properly, do you call the Securities Exchange Commission? Nope. Why? Because they are not empowered with regulating business employee relationships. If your bank charges you for stuff that they weren't supposed to, do you call the SEC? Nope. You call your state attorney general. Why? Because why does my stream show like I'm not connected to the internet anymore? I will wait until it's back up.